Egbe in Yoruba language means a community, a society, a club, a group of people. And these meanings of Egbe can give us a better view about Òrìṣà Egbe. Òrìṣà Egbe is the Òrìṣà that cares for our social life. Our devotion to Egbe, to Òrìṣà Egbe, means our social, spiritual integration. If we look to Egbe, we have Egbe divided into two, let's say, situations. One is Egbe Ayé, and another one is Egbe Ọ̀run. Egbe Ayé, Ayé, the universe, the planet, the visible world. This is our present life. Every one of us, we are part of Egbe Ayé. And we are also in parallel with the influences of our Egbe in Ọ̀run. The Yorubas believes in reincarnation. As we can observe in so many Yoruba names, like Babatunde, that is the reincarnation of the late father or late ancestor. Iyabode, of a late mother or female ancestor. In Egbe theology, we must have in mind, to understand Egbe theology, the basic principles of life. Egbe is Òrìṣà of life. Is the devotion to keep us as long as possible in Ayé, in this universe. Mythologically, when we are conceived, we establish some pacts about our lives. And it is not always that the pact we made before we are born are so good. There's a belief that we made a pact with our Egbe Ayé, how our life is going to be in this Ayé, how long we are going to live, and what are going to be our life experience, also our life expectancy. But all this can be changed, for better or for worse. And we also made a pact with our Egbe Ọ̀run. All humankind, all human beings, we have the influences of our Egbe Ọ̀run. It is so that we believe in Aya Ọ̀run, Ọkọ Ọ̀run. Okay, the spiritual wife in the spiritual universe, or the spiritual husband in the spiritual universe. Ọmọ Ọ̀run, the spiritual child, that is the child that belongs to you, that is in the spiritual world. Some people call it heaven, but I will not use this expression heaven, because if I will use the word heaven, I will go out of Yoruba tradition, and I don't want to do this. So I will rather prefer to use the expression of spiritual universe, the life above. So by this, every one of us, we have the parallel in Ọ̀run. If we want to understand this better, we will have to have a look in the concept of Abiku. Abiku, born to die. It is so strong, our belief in Yoruba theology, that we believe that we are going to die. One day we will die. But what we are talking about is premature death. Let us have a look in Ifa. When we do invocation to Ifa, we say, Ọ̀mọ̀ràn tí ń pa ọjọ́ ikú dà. The Òrìṣà that possesses the wisdom that can change the date of someone's death. Ifa will never prevent someone from dying, but it is possible to negotiate the date of someone's death, not to die prematurely. So, regarding this logic, to understand Egbe, okay, we have to look into the concept of Abiku, Abikuism, okay, the concept of premature death. And Abiku, or Eleko, Elere, we have different expressions about all this, which in resume, all these expressions has to do with what our logical mind, emotion cannot understand. It also reflects on different kind of traumas we have in life. Some people doesn't have good luck in love because their ayonu, their spiritual wife, have an envy, a jealous, and so by this they cannot have good luck with their partners in Aye. The same thing happens with the ladies. Their okonu, their spiritual husband, has an envy or jealous upon them, so they cannot have a successful relationship or marriage in Aye. Some people cannot have children because their omonu is so jealous on them that doesn't give them the chance to procreate in Aye. The same thing with the material life. So we can say that we have the direct influence of our Egbe Ọ̀run in Aye. This is the belief of the Yorubas. So because of this belief in our theology, as we know that the Òrìṣàs is the way to minimize our sufferness, our difficulties, and the way to have a balanced social life. By this, the Yoruba theology use the theology of Egbe to balance and harmonize life. The concept of Abiku or Elere, Eleko, no matter the denomination, is very common among us Yoruba in our theology, in our society. So by this, the concept of Egbe is to appease, to harmonize our relationship with our Egbe Ọ̀run, so that we can have the blessing from our Egbe Ọ̀run to live our life in this planet without any negative influence that may disturb our ambitions from achieving our goals in life. Egbe Ọ̀run has influence upon our life because since we are conceived, we made a pact with our Egbe Ọ̀run and Egbe Aye. So this pact lead to what I considered as ecological balance. Because if everybody will have everything in life, that will be a chaotic situation. We may be born to achieve so many good things in life, but we need to put a lot of effort to achieve all this. So our effort starts to bring balance to everything. Okay, we all have a dream to have everything, but this cannot be possible. Otherwise, life would be impossible for us to survive if we will have everything. If everybody will be very rich, if everybody will have everything, that will be a chaotic situation. So we understand this. By this, those who have knowledge about the influence of Egbe, they can have an advantage of taking care of their spiritual life by having the support of their Egbe Orun, so that they can live freely in their life without the negative or side effects of the Egbe Orun. But who are those that has more influence of Egbe Orun? Who are those? Absolutely all of us. Everybody has the influences of his Egbe Orun. So this is why we are all Abiku. We are all born to die, because Abiku is born to die. But this is not the concern. The concern is to die prematurely. The concern are the basic things that could be missing in our lives, which we consider as the influence of our Egbe. That is, when we say someone has a spiritual problem, our spiritual problem are the difficulties we face, the challenges, the limitations, some contradictions, some difficulties we go through in life that end up limiting our possibilities in life. So to understand Egbe, we have to have a brief look into the concept of Abiku in Yoruba theology. So we can classify Abiku into two levels, Abiku Omode and Abiku Agba. As I've said, we are all Abiku. Okay, because we are going to die. As we say in Yoruba, ohun tó bá ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ á nópin. What has the beginning will have an end. As we say in Yoruba, nothing lasts forever. So by the way, Egbe is the guardian to balance our predestination as Abiku, either Abiku Omode or Abiku Agba. Abiku Omode are the children, the teenagers, the adolescents, the young ones that may die prematurely or may have some spiritual, emotional, mental difficulties in their life. Also material also. Some people have difficulties in getting pregnant. Some people have difficulties in saving money. Some people have difficulties in achieving prosperity. Some people have difficulties in maintaining their achievements. Some people cannot enjoy a good health, either emotional, mental health. This is the influence of being Abiku. So we have this classification, Abiku Omode, which are those that are born to have the risk of dying prematurely. Okay. Of course, in some places, you have the environmental contribution for someone to die prematurely. If you are born in a war zone, there's a risk to die prematurely, very young. If you are born in a place, in an environment where there's no adequate medical treatment, you can die prematurely. So our Abikuism also determine where we are going to born. Abiku is in the environment, it's in the space, in the place. Because can you imagine those who are born in the war zone or in the middle of the war? So this is one point. Also, to understand this Abikuism, we have the names of some children like Babari Insa, children that they are born immediately after the death of their father. They are called Babari Insa. That is, literally means my father ran away from me. So you can imagine someone who lost the opportunity to have the father in life. This is also symptoms of Abiku. So Abiku Omode can be manifested right from the moment of conception. This is why also women has a spontaneous abortion. And some children, they are born with so many illness, many physical problems, emotional problems. Okay. Of course, all these children that they are born in this situation, it is also the imbalances between the soul, the Eda, and the body, the Ara. At times, this vital energy of the child is so strong that the body cannot accommodate. This is also something that happens with Abiku. So Egbe will be the Òrìṣà, one of the Òrìṣàs that we can use to balance such a situation like this. We equally have the Abiku Agba. Okay, Abiku Agba are those who die at adulthood. Why should we consider everybody as an Abiku? For one simple reason, there is no any rule that will pre-establish the adequate normal life expectancy. If we say someone dies at the age of 100 years, okay, in Yoruba society, if someone will die at this age, we celebrate his or her death. We celebrate. Meanwhile, when some children die, it is called socially unaccepted death. Some children, when they die, they are buried out of the town, out of the city. Some rituals are done so that this will not repeat in the society and in the family. And when some adults die, we celebrate. We eat together, we dance together, we sing together, we celebrate this passing away of this loving one. So by this, we still continue to believe that we are all Abikus. The only difference is when we talk about death is socially unaccepted death and socially accepted death. This is why the rite of passage, the funeral, is different when a very old person dies, because these people, they will become our venerable ancestors. For instance, Egungun. what are the major concerns in the aspect of Abiku? We have to focus in Egbe as the Ashe to balance the life of an Abiku, for preventing this Abiku from a premature death so that it can live long, and to support this person to be able to materialize his potencies. Abiku has its positive aspect. We are so focused on the negative aspect of Abiku, of Emere. Okay, it is so common that in Yoruba society, when a child is intuitive, or someone is intuitive, a young person who is not a priest, is not a diviner, you say Abami eyan. Whom you call Abami? Abami is uncommon, mysterious person, something mysterious. It is not so difficult to you find among the Yorubas children making some prophecies for their family, for their parents. Some children, they pre-announce their illness, what will happen to them. This is intuition. This is perception. This is values. Some children, they have some attitudes that is above their age. This is spiritual influence of the Egbe. So, in one part, those whom we considered as Abikus, they possess some special blessings, some exceptional capacities, okay, which in most cases they are ignored because of the fear of the invisible influences of an Abiku, which are mainly the illness, emotional problems or difficulties, and some surprise that the parents can experience. But what Egbe is trying to say, to teach us, is genetically, we are all born differently. We all possess our emotional genetics, mental genetics, spiritual genetics that determines how our life is going to be. Our Egbe Orun, we worship them so that we can balance our life in a year. Because if we stop and start to reflect deeply, what do we know about ourselves? What do we know about life? Do we really know whom we are? Do we really know what we possess? Do we really know what we are in this planet to perform, to do, to be? No. We need a spiritual inspiration, intervention to know whom we are, to understand ourselves, to understand our mission, for self-discovery. So our devotion to Egbe Orun, it is also to favor our lives so that we can bring out all the precious things we have inside us, materialize all this for the fulfillment of our life mission. So Egbe is not only to cure the negative side of Abikuism, of illness, stubbornness, of difficulties. No, it is not only this. It is also to bring out the good things we have inside us. Egbe Orun also contributes for the peace in a year. We worship Egbe Orun so that we can find our place, our space we can integrate our society and be part of our society. The devotion to Egbe is also the process of socialization. Yoruba theology is so focused on the process of socialization. In our traditional way of raising a child, it is common we observe in the communities, people eat from the same plate, they drink from the same cup, because Yoruba society prepare a child to become part of its society. We are prepared to accept our society so that we can be accepted by our society. So this is Egbe. In the practical aspect of Egbe, the general name for Egbe is Egbe Aye or Egbe Orun and Egbe Orun. But in some places, they have some sub-names for the type of the Egbe. For instance, in Oyo, they called Egbe Olosun, for instance. Egbe that uses Osun, the camwood, like let's say the red color, as the symbol of their devotion. In Abiku, Egbe is dressed in white clothes. So, but regardless of these complementary names of Egbe, Egbe is unique. Egbe has the same meaning and the same purpose in Yoruba theology, because the purpose of Egbe is to heal us from our mental, emotional, physical, material illness. Egbe is to promote our social integration, because we are part of this universe. This is why if you observe some names given to some children in honor of Egbe, when their parents goes to Egbe to do rituals, to get conceived, to have the child, like Egbe Yemi, the spiritual energies of my Egbe balance, harmonize my life. Duro Jaye, stay to enjoy the good things of this planet. Egbe Dayo, my Egbe transform my life into a joyful life. Egbe Dire, my Egbe transform my life into wealth, prosperity, into goodness. So if we can have a look into like one song of Egbe, Egbe Onire, my Egbe is the Egbe of goodness. My Egbe is Egbe of wealth, of prosperity, of good being, of goodness, of well-being. Sorry, not good being, of well-being. So we can say that Egbe is the Òrìṣà that contributes to all form of our well-being. Some people, they go to the gym for wellness. We go to Egbe for our mental wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, material wellness. So when we go to Egbe, we bring balance and fitness to everything. Egbe fix our health. Egbe fix our emotional difficulties in relationships. Okay, Egbe brings longevity into our achievements. Egbe supports our lives to keep and maintain our achievements. Egbe protect us from losing what we achieve. Egbe makes our life more joyful, and Egbe balances our lives with our inner conflicts. Egbe is also the Òrìṣà that creates our surviveness, our society. Our Egbe determines the qualities of our lives. So our devotion to our Egbe, it is just to find a better way to integrate ourselves by having good physical health, mental health, to have success in life, to have good relationships. It is common with Egbe, we do Ẹbọ Ọkọ. If a lady is having difficulties to maintain his relationship with the partner, it goes for Ẹbọ Ọkọ. This is done with Egbe, so that the spiritual husband will give the lady the chance to have a successful, happier marriage in life. The same thing with men. When some men has difficulties in getting married or maintaining their marriage, they can use Egbe to do offering for Aya Ọ̀run, so that this man can have a happier marriage and a stable relationship in Aye. And also, to finalize our devotion to Egbe, it is also to synchronize our destinies with our actions. Probably you've heard in Yoruba philosophy, Ọkọ Lọ́kọ, Aya Láya, that is, someone may get married to a wrong husband or to a wrong wife. And someone can also have what we call Ọmọ-lọ́mọ, have a child which is not meant for that person. Okay? So, with the devotion to Egbe, we can have our own wife or husband or children. So, Egbe can also be considered as Òrìṣà that give us the blessing to be synchronized with our real destiny. So we don't have any cross destiny or any contamination in our destiny.
Oduduwa.